what are we doing, man? As humans, what are we doing? And then the lying, right? So now if you tell the truth, you're the enemy, and if you're a liar, you're the victim. It's just everything is upside down, backwards, and it's really kind of hard even for a rational mind to get their head around it all.
And when I say the amount of children that don't make it into adulthood, some of them make it to the year 18. Many of them make it to the year 18. But I'm talking 23 to 25. Like, I've actually gone around LA, and I'm like asking people point blank, do you see any 15 to 25 year olds coming through the grocery store? No, we don't see any 15 to 25 year olds coming through that's an entire generation of children fucking gone, dude. You're not worried about that? What the fuck? What's wrong with you?
They took her. Where are they?
They're probably at the Fortress of Morpheus by now. It's the solstice. The mystics need a young maiden. We normally send our young girls away. I thought you knew.
No. Your eyes practically lit up when you saw us come into town. What are they going to do to her?
Oh, stop! Every solstice, the mystics come down from the mountain and they take a young girl. We never see them again.
I remember I'd go to the grocery store, there'd always be a hot checkout girl. 20 years ago, you go to the grocery store, there's always a 18 to 25-year-old, a hot checkout girl. You want to get in that lane, you know what I mean? You go to the grocery store, there'd always be checkout boys, either kids that just out of high school, even sometimes they'd still be in high school or just out of high school. They would call them box boys. Checkout girls and box boys. You go to the grocery store. I remember you go to the grocery store on a Friday night, you'd always see smoking hot young women doing their groceries. Single young women wearing nice summer dresses and stuff like that. You go to the grocery store now, you do not see 15 to 25-year-olds, period. They don't fucking exist. Maybe one or two, 23-year-old young men. But like percentage-wise, the amount of 15 to 25-year-olds in LA County is approaching basically zero. While it's not zero.
Anthropology. The study of human societies and cultures and their development.
Percentage-wise, and historic if you're an anthropologist and you're keeping track of historical records of the percentage of age population groups of age and population numbers, it's approaching zero.
Do you see a lot of 15 to 25
I do overnight a lot.
Yeah.
But the days I am here, maybe 7 to 9 a day.
A day?
Every time I'm here, yeah.
Okay. So 7 to 9 customers that are between 15 and 25?
Yeah.
Okay. So they do exist, but there's not a lot of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want another bag for...
No, I think that's okay.
And I know it's not just in LA County. I've seen documentaries and other videos from other parts of the world, and there's a whole fucking age group of 6 to 12 to 13-year-olds, plenty of them, but then 25 to 30-year-olds, 15 to 25-year-olds, fucking literally not a single one of them in frame. And then you see 35 to 45-year-olds taking care of the 12-year-olds and the 6-year-olds. It's like, where did the 15 to 25-year-olds go? An entire fucking generation fucking gone, dude. And it's only getting worse.
It's either 40s and 50s or like kids.
Since I've been a targeted individual my entire life, I have learned slowly, I might add. In many ways, I am a slow learner. For years and years, I couldn't understand the things and bad luck that followed me. Always trying to stay 2 steps ahead of the darkness and weird, completely illogical, and terrible things happening in my life. For a while, I was good at moving around and staying ahead of them. But as their technology improved and their ability to pinpoint me and literally
spy satellite network, okay? SpaceX reportedly signed a $1.8 billion contract with U.S. intelligence services. We talked about this before. Now, get a load of this. What can this thing do? Okay, this is constant surveillance. This is terrifying. So the vast constellation of low Earth orbit satellites will be able to track targets on the ground in real time nearly anywhere worldwide, the sources claim. In real time, anywhere worldwide. How do you hide from that? One of them boasted that Starshield would ensure no one can hide.
But as their technology improved and their ability to pinpoint me, and literally, I use the words and this language because it is the most concise way of saying it. They have literally cursed me in ways you cannot comprehend. They use quote-unquote black magic, child sacrifice, mind control, and other dark magic and dark technologies you can't even begin to imagine. They not only have time travel technology, but they also have the ability to see into the future and the past.
But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated.
If I was to tell you that the reason babies are put into a silver bowl filled with quote-unquote holy water was to quote-unquote bless them, well, if I was to tell you that things like that are not what they seem, and they can literally see a person's future and see if they will be a problem. I know, I sound completely fucking nuts. But things like that are not as far-fetched as you might think.
Where do we start with the Vatican?
What's in there?
My favorite object that's supposed to be down there is called the chronovisor. And this is an object that lets you see through time. So chrono means time, visor means see. So this is an object that you can see through time. Come to the conclusion that all the objects around us are vibrating with an energy and picking up all the conversations. Everything we're saying is getting absorbed into everything around us. And that if you can tune into the right frequency, you can hear that. And if you can really zero in on it, you can see what's going on.
Like, could you imagine they have the technology? They take a baby, right? A brand new baby. They put it in the bowl of quote-unquote holy water. You could just call it pure distilled water, whatever it is. Then the DNA from the child is absorbed into the water. And then they have the ability, using the silver bowl and other extremely advanced, literally magic crystal core quantum computer-based technology, and they can literally see the timeline of the child. Now you're saying, no, that's completely fucking crazy. You've fucking gone way too far. You've lost it. You're nuts. Maybe so. Maybe so.
Time travel. For decades, Hollywood has been obsessed with time travel. Well, Andrew D. Bashago claims that when he was a child, he participated in a CIA time travel program.
Time travel was achieved by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Actually, 8 modalities of time travel were fully developed by 1970. I was brought in as a 3rd grader in 1969-70. But my story is true. I was brought into the project by my late father, Raymond F. Bashago, who was essentially the chief technical consultant between the Ralph M. Parsons Company and the CIA on the theory and practice of Tesla teleportation, which was one of the 8 forms of time travel that were fully developed by 1970.
Hi, I'm Nate, and today we're looking into the mantis beings. And let me tell you, these guys get around.
Can you comment on whatever species have been piloting these craft?
They're typically the multiple species people are familiar with, the greys, the Nordics. People have talked about reptilians and insectoids. It's not that they're reptilian or insectoid, it's that they resemble to the percipient of reptile or insect type humanoid.
Okay, back up a little. This is not space camp. Let the experts do their work. You know, you're very lucky, you two, that you didn't come face to face with the aliens who are in that craft. They're like deadly praying mantises. They eat your flesh.
And the guys sitting on the chairs operate all the controls in this section here. I'd been taken on board the craft, and the being, it's a mantid being, again, with a purple cloak. And then he walks straight up to me, looks down and puts his 2 hands on my shoulders and says, "Would you like to be like us?"
And the group on the left are coordinating what are known as human timelines. You're born, you die. You have a timeline that joins between the two. And so you can be interacted at any point on that timeline. But if you're interacted at the wrong point, it could cause a terrible chain reaction. It could have a very bad negative effect on that individual. So it is all planned out and mapped out.
Where they've had an association with a soul, it could be good or bad. So where it's a good association, they will work with that individual. So any individual that's getting a reasonably okay interaction, they're happy with that soul of that. They'll know that soul for many hundreds or thousands of years. Where they're not happy with that, that soul has fought against them at some point in history, in a different body, has worked against them, thwarted them. And when that soul manifests itself, they want to isolate that person and lock them out so they cannot then work against them.
And then they have the ability, using the silver bowl and other extremely advanced, literally magic crystal core quantum computer-based technology, and they can literally see the timeline of the child. Now you're saying, no, that's completely fucking crazy. You've fucking gone way too far. You've lost it. You're nuts. Maybe so. Maybe so.